Hello and welcome to Euro Football Daily, where today we're looking at 10 players hated, criticised or made scapegoats for their poor team's performance. Just remember guys, I didn't write this. 10. Kepa Arrizabalaga. Here at EFD, we practically invented the anti-Kepa agenda. Even at 20 million euros, the Spaniard would have been a poor buy, with below average save rates in his homeland. But since moving to England, he's been nothing short of a disaster, making Nicolas Pepe look like a bargain. Amazingly, he's let in more goals in his last 6 games in the Prem than Petr Cech did in the whole of Chelsea's 04-05 title-winning campaign. However, that stat is revealing. The whole defence has been Europa League level under Lampard, ranking 5th in the Prem in 2019-20 by expected goals, and even if Kepa had performed better and allowed only the 41 goals XG predicted, that still would have been Chelsea's 3rd worst defensive season since 2001. And while Frank Lampard has incorrectly claimed his team allows the fewest shots in the league, 10 teams allow fewer, last year the shots they conceded had an average scoring probability of 12.6%, compared to the league average of 10. Kepa is an issue, and replacing him was vital, but don't expect the Blues to rediscover the keys to the bus. 9. Rodri. Man City losing out on a 3rd consecutive title in 2019-20 was largely down to defence. The club went from conceding around 0.6 expected goals a game in the 2 previous seasons to allowing 1 a game as Liverpool beat them to the trophy. And while Aymeric Laporte's injury layoff was a factor, the obvious difference was in midfield, with the outstanding Fernandinho replaced by Rodri. So the Spaniard has often been the scapegoat for City's issues without the ball. And while he is certainly not capable of covering the whole park like Fernandinho, with just 2.7 defensive actions per game compared to the Brazilian's peak under Pep of 5, there has been a team-wide drop-off. City allow opponents around 10 passes before attempting a challenge, up just from 8 in their title-winning years. And Pep's insistence on attacking fullbacks and using De Bruyne as an 8 leaves a space too large for Rodri to cover, resulting in City conceding shots worth around 0.13 XG on average, the worst of any Premier League side in the last 5 campaigns. Rodri will never be Fernandinho, but that was obvious when he was signed. Pep's failure to adapt his system to his players and keep the side pressing is no one's fault but his own. 8. Roman Bürki. For years, many fans have felt that the main obstacle between Borussia Dortmund and a major trophy, other than Bayern Munich, has been their goalkeeper. Roman Bürki has been at the club for 5 years, but is now seeing his position come under threat from international teammate Marwin Hitz, who has played almost half as many minutes already this season as he did in his first 2 years with BVB. However, Bürki is not the source of Dortmund's defensive issues. As a whole, the team allowed 10.4 shots a game last season, but each of those shots had an 11% chance of being scored, marginally more than the Bundesliga average. And while Bürki did underperform versus expected goals in the last 2 campaigns, he massively overperformed in 2017-18, meaning that in the last 3 years, he's actually saved his club more goals than expected, with only 2019-20 seeing his save percentage drop below a strong 70%. With Thomas Meunier underwhelming, and Favre trying out 17-year-old Jude Bellingham, and the unfancied Mahmoud Dahoud in the engine room, it's clear that there's room for improvement in the entire defensive half of the pitch. Bürki shouldn't shoulder all of the blame. 7. Raphal Varane. Those who don't regularly watch Real Madrid might be surprised to see Raphal Varane on our list, and in truth, the Frenchman doesn't get or deserve the same malice as most of the players we've picked. However, Real Madrid have earned a reputation for underperforming whenever Sergio Ramos is missing, and the blame for that always ends up at Varane's door, with the rangy defender often criticised for a lack of leadership. But while Los Blancos have lost 7 of their last 8 matches they've played without Ramos in the Champions League, only beating Club Bruges in his absence since 2017, that should reflect badly on Zidane, not Varane. The coach still prefers a team based around possession rather than solidity, with Casemiro the only Madrid midfielder making more than 4 tackles and interceptions a game, and that puts pressure on the centre-backs to make last-ditch interventions, with 51% of Real's tackles coming in their own defensive third, compared to just 30% for other elite teams like Liverpool, Man City and Bayern Munich. That's a setup almost no one could thrive in, and it's a testament to Ramos's brilliance, not Varane's weakness, that it's worked for so long. 6. Pablo Fornals. Okay, We're not here to argue that Pablo Fornals is a secret superstar, or even that he should keep Said Benrahma out of the West Ham lineup, but the Spaniard is due a reappraisal. Labelled a flop just months after his £25 million switch from Villarreal in 2019, Fornals was widely panned in his debut campaign, despite ending up with 7 goal involvements in 24 starts, as the Irons limped into 16th. This year he's still as expendable, hence Benrahma's arrival, but Fornals has quietly been excellent. Still 24, he registered 3 goal involvements in his first 6 appearances of 2021, ranking second in the squad for expected goals with an outstanding 0.5 a game. Only fullbacks Cresswell, Fredericks and Masuaku have made more chances per game than him to date, but he's also a team player, recording the most defensive actions of any West Ham attacker and helping the midfield move forward, with more progressive passes than Antonio and Bowen put together. Seen as emblematic of West Ham's erratic spending, Fornals is actually a rock-solid squad player, and young enough to improve. Don't call him a flop just yet. 5. Harry Maguire. Any huge transfer fee immediately makes a player a target, and Harry Maguire's absurd £78 million price tag, coupled with a summer arrest and miserable performances at the start of the 2020-21 season, have seen the England defender ridiculed by fans. But while he's often clumsy and has a higher opinion of his own passing and dribbling than he should, the defender has been far from a flop at Old Trafford. In 2019-20, Maguire played every minute of the Premier League season as United put together the 3rd best defensive record in the league, allowing just 36 goals in 38 games, 1 fewer than when they had won the treble in 1999. That in turn saw them qualify for the Champions League, which will bring the Red Devils a minimum of around €100 million in revenue, essentially paying off Maguire's fee instantly. And on the field, his performances have been better than you'd think, getting dribbled past less often than any United player, as well as leading the team in interceptions and aerial wins per game. He may never have the grace of Van Dijk or the awareness of Vidic, but Harry Maguire has made Manchester United better. 4. Eric Dier. Another criticised defender, Eric Dier looked to be on his way out of Tottenham when Mourinho arrived in November 2019. Over the first 12 weeks of that campaign, Dier had played just 24% of available minutes, after missing 18 league matches the previous year. But Mourinho, who had tried to sign the Englishman for Manchester United, made him an important part of his rebuild. Regularly lambasted for his lack of speed and positional awareness, Dier failed to shine in a midfield role, but since March has only played at centre-back, where he is more than competent. Last year he won possession 3 times a game and was dribbled past only 24% of the time, compared to 25% for Alderweireld and 50% for Sanchez. This year he's tackling much less, but commits fewer fouls than any of his teammates, as well as leading the side in aerial duels won and in long balls, with his exceptional mark of over 6 a game, twice as many as his Belgian compatriot. It's unlikely that the 26-year-old will ever attract another £50 million bid from a big side, but Mourinho builds success on the backs of reliable, diligent workhorses. Nobody fits that description better than Eric Dier. 3. Antoine Griezmann. No one can claim that Antoine Griezmann has been good for Barcelona, and here at Eurofootball Daily, we hated the move before it even happened. Spending £107 million on a 28-year-old was hardly long-term planning, and Griezmann delivered just 13 goals and assists in 35 league games in his maiden campaign, just 1 more than Ayoze Perez got for Leicester. Ronald Koeman has given the Frenchman another shot in 2020-21, but he failed to score in the first 5 games of the season and was dropped for El Clasico. However, the problem hasn't gone away. Of the 98 teams in Europe's top 5 leagues, 39 take more shots per game than Barcelona, and everyone is underperforming. At the time of writing, Messi has gone 6 games without an open play goal. Coutinho is creating half a chance a game and taking fewer shots than ever before, and the only man performing is 17-year-old Ansu Fati. A compliment to his brilliance, yes, but also a statement on where Barca are as a side. Dropping Griezmann won't fix the team, but until recruitment and coaching can put together a coherent 11, the former Atleti man will unfortunately remain the easiest scapegoat. 2. Neymar. Neymar has been criticised for everything, from diving to petulance to greed over the years, but his period at Paris Saint-Germain has seen hatred for the Brazilian reach new heights. Injuries forced him out of the Champions League knockout losses to Real Madrid in 2018 and Man United in 2019, but he's always seemed healthy enough to celebrate his birthday or travel to Brazil, and pundits questioned his commitment to the cause, suggesting his only concerns were money and personal glory. But in 2019-20, Neymar took on a new role at the Parc des Princes, leader. In the UCL quarter-final against Atalanta, he recorded twice as many touches as anyone else and broke the record for dribbles completed in a knockout game with 16, playing a crucial part in both goals. In the semi against Leipzig, he registered an incredible assist for Di Maria, bringing him to 24 in the competition since 2013. 4 more than his closest rival. And though he struggled to make an impression in the final, it wasn't for lack of trying, as he led his teammates in shots, dribbles and presses, getting fouled 6 times as Bayern tried to kick him out of the match. Ultimately, he lost his cool, but Neymar's effort and intensity showed a new maturity in his game. He may not have won the Champions League again, but he won plenty of new admirers. 1. Alexandre Lacazette. From Arsenal's Player of the Season in 2018-19, Alexandre Lacazette must wonder how he lost the love of the Arsenal faithful. With Aubameyang stationed out wide, the former Lyon man is perceived as taking his captain's spot, but despite what his critics say, Lacazette remains exactly the same player he's always been. In 2019-20, Lacazette scored or assisted every 135 minutes, barely worse than Aubameyang's one every 126 minutes, and sidelining their sole creator, Mesut Ozil, Laka put up an identical XG to 18-19, with around 0.6 a game. And this season, he's actually improved on that. Over the first 6 weeks, the Frenchman managed 0.7 XG per 90 to Aubameyang's appalling 0.3, scored 3 goals to the Gabonese's 1, and took a shot or created a chance every 29 minutes, compared to his teammates 1 every 36. Arsenal may well improve with an extended run for Aubameyang through the middle, and with an average of under 9 shots a game, they can't afford to get any worse. But blaming the side's woes on the one player scoring is silly, and after 56 goal involvements in 79 league starts for the Gunners, Lacazette deserves more respect. So those were our 10 players we think don't deserve the hate, but have we made any wrong decisions? Have we missed anyone out? Then please let me know in the comments below. We will try to get back to you. If you've enjoyed this video, then smash that like button, and as always, make sure you're subscribed to EuroFootball Daily.